All right, hallelujah. I don't mean to be what you call a harsh judge, but I do want to be actual, factual, and truthful. Gerald Celente, and I'm very fond of the guy. I really do. I mean, I really am, because I think his head is screwed on right when it comes to the economic front. But I tell you what, how can you have sympathy for someone who don't practice what they're speaking? That's just like a preacher who doesn't practice what he's preaching. I mean, after all, if you lose 6 figures, 1% of your net worth to MF Global, because you're still playing the paper game, then you deserve exactly what you get. Ain't no need in crying over spilled milk. You already know they're a bunch of liars. You know they're a bunch of jackleg, boot-licking dogs. You know that they are. Why continue to keep playing the paper game? Because there's a chance that you're going to make some money. So, hey, that's risk. It's risk assessment. It's risk. There's a reward to investment. That's just all there's to it. There's risk in everything you do. There's a risk when you get married. The only true risk, or let me just go this route. The only thing that is really, truly not a risk is real, true salvation with the Most High Yahweh. And that's just the truth. And the Messiah, Yahshua HaMashiach, which is Jesus. That is the fact. But even at that, it's not predicated and based on his work and what he's done. He's already done it. It's based on your dedication and what you do, because the information, everything has been laid out perfectly for you. That's the same thing with Gerald Celente. I mean, he's just now starting to invest in the metals market and stuff. And of course, hey, if anything, this is going to make him bitter. This is going to make him even the more so adamant about speaking against the fraud and corruption, the lies. I just saw a little video here where CNN, or somebody did what you call a video on these the insider trader secrets with all the people up in Congress. I mean, you mean tell me y'all people just now learning this? You mean you hadn't figured it out? You don't understand that people can sit up there and the only reason why they want to be a politician because it's a surefire way to become a millionaire? Because they're not going to represent the interests of the people. They're going to represent their constituents, the ones who give them the most money and donations. And then they're going to sit up and politically grandstand in front of you people as if they're very benevolent and they care a lot about you. The people, no, they don't. Let me tell you something. You people better wise up real quick. And I understand, because the Bible teaches me. It says that a poor man's wisdom is despised. And I understand that my wisdom is despised because you know what? You don't like the way I come. You don't like the way I talk, and you don't like the way I think. That's what's wrong with religious folks today. Anybody who claims to be in so-called religion, because they get offended because people like me hurt their little sorry feelings that they keep wearing on their sleeve because I won't preach and teach the damnable doctrines that they've all been deceived by all their lives. Why should I rehash a bunch of crap and garbage to send somebody's soul to an eternal lake of fire because I wouldn't taught that? I'm not going to teach that mess and garbage just because you got a preacher and teacher who taught you that mess. I'm going to exercise self-autonomy, independent thinking like I teach the people. And that's what you people should do. And you keep on playing this paper game out there, you're going to lose your rear end. You're going to lose your rear end. That's all it is to it. All you have to do is, I tell you, I get, where you get your source information from, Pastor Dow? I get it right here. Right here. This right here is the greatest history book in the history of mankind. It's the history of the Hebrews who are Israelites. And it tells me that gold and silver is money and nothing else. And that's all there's to it. Now, fiat currency, this Federal Reserve note called the dollar, is just about finished. It's done ran its course and it's on its way out. And you people, more you're going to lose your rear end with these failing companies, more you're going to lose your 401ks, your IRAs, your mutual funds. And what kind of money are you making right now on investments anyway? I went up there to the bank the other day and I said, you got to be kidding me. 0.6%. Can you, are you serious? Are you serious? You mean to tell me you think I'll put $10,000 in this bank account just so I can look at a return of 0.6% in a 12-month or 18-month period of time? I can go out here and pick up cans on the side of the street and then take them to the actual recycling place and make more interest off money than that. See, everything is eroding right in front of you. The value of your dollar is nothing. It's not. Let me tell you something. If your listen, Your preachers and teachers, they're not going to tell you nothing that they don't know themselves. They don't know that the system is collapsing, so therefore they don't talk to you about it. They're not going to tell you to store food because they have this same old cognitive dissonance, this same old normalcy bias that everybody seems to be functioning by. And so they cannot give you information. They cannot stretch themselves beyond measure. They cannot tell you things you need to do if they're not partakers of it and they're not doing them themselves. You see, if you're listening and following my advice, you'll be wise. Get out of the city. Find you a simple place. You need believers. You cannot do this by yourself. You can't do it. It cannot be done by yourself. You have to get around people who are faithful, who are true, who believes in these moral virtues that are just honest and right, integrity and heart, who will commit themselves to the spirit of truth, who love the Most High more than anything. You got to get around people who have character and have proven character. You can't get around people and expect to take advice. Would you look? Listen. I'm teaching you what sound money is. You're not going to get somebody who's knee deep up in debt, they're drowning in it, and they cannot see their way out of it to give you the advice that I'm giving. You know why? Because they cannot articulate it that way. They can't tell it that way because they can't see it that way because it doesn't fit their lifestyle. That's like churches. If you listen to me and you really truly want everlasting peace in your life, that means you're going to have to change your mind. You're going to have to change the way you do things. You're going to have to start becoming very active in your pursuit of happiness. And so that means, hey, you're going to have to follow the same examples. I mean, why do you think that I go to North Carolina, Florida, I'm going to California and Texas, I preach in South Carolina, I preach in Georgia, and all these places? Why do you think I go around? Apostle Paul, he went to Romans, he went to Corinth, he went to Ephesus, he went to Thessalonica, he went to Philippi. You know the reason why? Because the church is not in these big old gigantic mausoleums. They're not. It's not. Those are the called. There's everybody who said he had called, but they are not the chosen. Did y'all hear what I said? The reason why he went to all them locations, and every one of them, it was just a remnant. That's the reason why Pastor Doc keep telling you, come out of these churches. You know, I think if I get a chance later on, I may do a video because I'm getting a lot of new subscribers, and for some reason, they will not go back. I don't know why they won't do it, but they will not go back into the archives and watch the videos and see what I have to say. If you see what I have to say, your questions are already answered. I've already answered your question 1,000 times over. If you can just go back and archive the things that I made this year, you would not believe what the Holy Spirit would do for you and your understanding. And I guarantee you'll come out of those churches then. I guarantee it, because there's no way that anybody out there can disprove what I'm saying. There's no way, because it's actual, it's factual, and it is truthful. Now, I'm a man. I'm fallible and I'm flawed. But when it comes to speaking the truth and telling you the truth, in that area, I'm not fallible and I'm not flawed, because the truth is not fallible and the truth is not flawed. And that is the truth. And that's the truth straight way. Get out of paper. Get out of debt. Get out of the city. Is that easy enough for you to understand? If you don't do any of that, don't cry, even though you're going to. When the whole economy and everything around you collapse, and it comes down on you hard like a 2-ton heavy stick. You know, I'm a different pastor because I teach people freedom. You don't need to go to those churches. All you need to do is keep the commandments. That's all you need to do. And then you support those where you're being fed the truth at, and you get behind them 100%, because Satan don't want that. If you're not remarkable and amazed how that the people, look at TBN, look at TD Jakes and Creflo Dollar. Just to name a few preachers. Look at Benny Hinn. Look at Paula White. The people will run to and fro and give millions of dollars to support a lie. But then somebody like me come on here to tell them the truth. Who's like pulling our teeth? Like pulling our teeth. But the remnant and everyone that has a spirit of truth, they will hear. And that's just the truth. I look forward to seeing you. I hope that you can make some of these upcoming meetings that I'm going to be doing this winter. I really, truly do. And I hope that some way, somehow, you've been blessed and you've gained some type of understanding But it does make it kind of hard to even listen to people's words when they don't follow what they preach and teach themselves. I mean, the old-fashioned word that people are familiar with, even though it causes a lot of offense today, is hypocrite.